my good sis Tamra to talk about you being a vegan. So first, if you could just introduce yourself, talk about your cute little shirt you got going on there with the runs on.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I got my Runs on Veggie shirt. We will link this in the below section. You know, I've been watching enough YouTube to say, you know, the box below here. So like, one, you know, make sure you subscribe, but also we will link these shirts. We will link this shirt in the bottom.
Got it. Cute. Okay, so then about you and how long you've been vegan.
Oh, yeah. So hello, everyone. I'm Tamra. I'm also Amber's friend. We've been friends for a while now. Like, I think I want to say we've been knowing each other for a very long time. Like, maybe like 2010.
We didn't realize how long we've actually known each other until we started to like actually think about it. We were like, wait, like how long? But I was
right. I want to say it's like 2010, and then when I started going to higher ed, that's when we got really close. And so here we are. I am currently a academic advisor at Mercy College. I'm honest about where I work. People be like,
they can find it on LinkedIn. So
they can find it on LinkedIn. I work at Mercy College. I'm an academic advisor. My school that I work at is an HSI, or Hispanic Serving Institution. So I really love that because I've got all of these lovely, beautiful people that I work with every single day. So that's great.
But the Mercy was HSI.
Yeah, they are, and they're actually one of the top HSIs in the state.
I had no idea.
Here we are.
We learn something new every day.
Not literally, I mean clearly. So this coronavirus, here we are. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm very new to this vegan lifestyle. I started being vegan in January on the 28th. And so this month will make it 5 months of being vegan, and it's honestly the best decision I have made ever in my life. I've been vegan one time prior to this, but it didn't last because I wasn't knowledgeable. And now that I'm grown and I'm old, my body is starting to really like change and like disfigure itself. I was like, I got to figure out how to stay black, don't crack on that type of level of situation. So this plant-based living or vegan, and I like to call myself vegan, and I'll kind of touch on that a little later. But I like to say that I'm vegan because, like, let's just be honest, like, you can't cheat God. So all these people who are out here talking about I'm alkaline.
Oh God, Tamra.
Whatever. I'm all set with that. I'm vegan because, one, I care about the food that I eat. I care about my health. I care about the animals. I care about our environment that we live in. And as Black people, whether we like it or not, we live in this environment, so we should care about this environment. Mm-hmm. So
great. We love it. I still love how you said you weren't knowledgeable before. That was a good point. I'm sure you'll get into that because from talking to Tamra, I have learned way more about what it means to be vegan. I personally don't know if I could do that long term. It's a lot. There's a lot of things you can't have. A lot of things and companies and like products that are using testing on animals or like using products you can't have and you don't know because fun fact, Tamra told me yesterday, the government doesn't make companies have to tell you what is in their things, which doesn't make sense to me, but I digress. Mm-hmm. So why did you decide to go vegan? I mean, you touched on it a little bit about like your health and you just want to be more like environmentally conscious, but what else like contributed to that?
So I want to say back in October of 2019, you know, back when pre-COVID, you know, when life was great, like I had decided that I wanted to be toxic free. So like I wanted to be a little bit more mindful of the things that I was putting in my body or the things that I was putting on my body. So I started off with like deodorant. Now let me tell y'all, I went through like 5 million deodorants before I found one that I no longer can use. And I'll tell you in a minute why I can't. But I was like, oh, this is super cool. Like I was reading all this information about how like all the things that we like use, like our deodorants, a lot of deodorants have like, what's that stuff called? Aluminum? No, aluminum. So aluminum gets in your brain. And so that is why most people suffer with what is that disease that people suffer with? Like, oh, it's
Oh, dementia or
like dementia and all those different
Alzheimer's.
like yes, and like what's like Parkinson's, things like that. People, when they put people under a scanner or an MRI, the reason why they have that stuff is because they have metal on the brain, aka aluminum. So when I realized that, I was like, oh my god, like I've been using this stuff for years. Then I found out the same thing with fluoride when your teeth, like that stuff gets in your bloodstream. People wonder why they have a lot of like infertility issues. People wonder why they have like thyroid issues. It's because of the stuff that we use, like our perfumes. And that's what I was telling Amber last night, is that the government does not require companies to release or reveal what chemicals are in their fragrances. People say that they're naturally derived, but they're really not. At the end of the day, like if you wash yourself or take a shower, you're gonna naturally smell fine. I know you want to smell good, you want to be good for your man, da 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 da. But also, those things are causing you to have yeast infections, have infertility issues, and we wonder why, as women, we have so many infertility issues. Is because of the things that we put on our bodies. And as I like began to learn more and more about that, then I was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna do any more perfumes or anything like that. Then I realized, well, how can I be toxic free if I'm still eating toxic food? Like, it doesn't make sense.
With your products and then moved on to your food.
Then yes, I started off with my products and then I moved into my food. Now I never let me preface this. I never intended to do that. So I remember back in January, shout out to my best friend Lala. She is not vegan. So she wanted to be vegan but never went vegan. And she was like, best friend, we gotta go vegan. And I was like, ooh, I don't know about being vegan. Like, that sounds a little strange. Like, I mean, I don't want to do that. I like meat. I like chicken. I like this, blah, 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 blah. Great. But she was like, best friend, like, if you read about all the things that are in our meat, in our food, and I'm going to touch on something that a lot of church people like to say in a few seconds. Hold that thought. So I decided in January that I was going to make the transition to eating a plant-based diet. And that was great. So I know when I started it, a lot of like church people were like, oh my God, God created animals. Yes, he did. He did create animals for us to eat and consume and all this other stuff. However, God did not create the chemicals that go into our meat.
Yes, and that's what I thought about too, is that like, yes, God has created animals, but people are breeding and raising these animals and not
breeding food at alarming rates, overbreeding animals, which I'm so against. The food that we eat, like, talk about the white. Okay, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings today, but the whiting and the tilapia is not real fish. Yeah,
I heard that.
It's not real fish. If you're eating that, stop it. It is like chemically made animals. Somebody came up with an idea to make another breed of fish in a lab, basically, and they over farmed them. These animals, you cannot find tilapia in the river. You just cannot. It doesn't exist. So you're eating items, food that is made in a lab that's going to kill you eventually. Anything that says that they're wild caught, they're lying. They have fish farms. They're not wild. No one. This is not 1800. They're not out here using nets to get your fish. They are creating farms for your food. So when I realized that, and how much hormones they're pumping into your food and your meat and all this, and even during coronavirus, people like the health inspectors were like getting coronavirus, so no one was there to inspect your food. So just want to let you all know that meat that you bought in March and April, it hasn't been checked. Stop eating it.
Tamra, this is just, we're not even into like the thick of it. You're like going off. You're like, listen, people.
Stop eating it. I want to save your lives. I really do. Like, I want you to be healthy. I mean, granted, I'm just like new in this, but like the amount of knowledge that's out there, Black people in particular, they are killing us at alarming rates. Black women, they want to kill you. They don't want you here because you host the Eve gene in your body. You can create any race of person. They want you dead. Okay?
Good.
So, okay. Let me get off my tangent off my soapbox.
So then next, what improvements have you seen to your health in the 5 months that you transitioned to eating a plant-based vegan diet?
Yeah. So for one thing, I mean, I have clearer skin. Now, I have had multiple outbreaks during COVID only because we're not outside as much. Like we're not, and we need to be going outside. So I've learned that I need to go outside and get some vitamin D because my body, you can start to feel the effects of not having any type of vitamin D in your body. But I have seen the effects of my skin is a whole lot softer. I used to have very rough skin. Like, I mean, it was like disgusting. Like I kid you not. I would also, I don't know, a lot of people suffer with like dandruff. I don't know, Amber, if you have suffered with that before. But
not really.
Dairy.
I love dairy.
Dairy is inflammatory to our body. So all that cheese that you like to eat has casein in it, aka cancer. Cheese is pus.
You're okay? Ruining everybody's favorite things.
Cheese is pus, and it causes inflammation in the body, which also comes out in your skin. So I used to suffer really bad with scalp psoriasis. I could not and I have locks. So when you have scalp psoriasis with locks, it is hard to get out. Like, your scalp is never really clean. Like, my hairstyle, so you literally used to have to, like, dig into my, like, almost, like, bleeding to get the skin, like, the dead skin off of my scalp. So when I started going vegan, my scalp psoriasis completely cleared up. I have not had dandruff in 5 months.
Oh, that's good.
And when time before COVID, it's so crazy. I had to tell stories before COVID. It's like crazy. But anyways, before my last hair appointment that I had with my hairstylist, she was like, I don't know what you're doing differently, but keep it up because your scalp is clean. Like, I could actually like wash it and it'd be clean, like the first and second time. And I'm like, oh yeah, girl, I'm vegan now. And my hairstylist is actually vegan as well. Actually, basically the whole hair salon is vegan. People don't know that, but pretty much everybody eats a vegan diet. But there was that. So I saw a significant difference in my skin. But the biggest one was like my weight change.
Yes.
So originally,
flourishing.
Yes. So when I started off this, I'm always completely transparent because this is to help somebody else. But like, I started off this year in 2020. I was 305 pounds. Okay.
Oh, you weren't.
Yeah, I was. I was 305 pounds, and now, I mean, granted, I've got lots of ways to go, but whatever. But now I'm 268, right? And so I've lost a total of 36-ish pounds.
And you don't exercise. Let's point that out.
And I don't exercise. I'm not gonna be honest with. I'm gonna be honest with everybody up on here is that I've been in quarantine legitimately.
Yeah.
The test. I don't go anywhere. Don't go to the stores. Yeah. I don't even go grocery shopping. Everything comes to me delivered. Okay. So I haven't worked out. I think the most workout I get is like walking up and down the stairs. But in the midst of quarantine, I had lost all this weight. And I couldn't see myself figure out why. But then I realized, okay, I've changed my diet, which made me change my idea of trying to have weight loss surgery because I really wanted to get that process started this year. But why would I do that now if I'm eating right?
Yeah. And that's why I mentioned like that you don't work out. And I didn't mean it in a bad way at all.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I need to work out, but whatever. We're not gonna go there.
Like people think that like you have to work out to lose weight, and they don't realize how much your diet does actually affect.
Oh yeah, I move the finger. Okay, the only thing that moves are these little fingers when I have to work every single day. But like, I just literally stopped eating trash. Now, granted, let me preface this. There is vegan junk food. People forget, like, you can still be fat, and there's plenty of vegans on YouTube or on Instagram that I follow. I will not use the word fat, but they are luscious and healthy and things like that. And just because there is good vegan snacks out there, trust me, I got some vegan popcorn over here. We're not gonna get into all of that. Yes, there's vegan popcorn. People most popcorn comes with butter on it. Can't eat butter, so whatever. But yeah, there's like vegan snacks. I mean, I dibble and dabble. I mean, I love a good Cherry Garcia from Ben and Jerry's. Like, I like it. It's great.
For that, you have to get the
dairy free, the non-dairy. Yeah. Okay. And they have a wide, like, let me tell you something. It's not hard to be vegan, everyone. I just want to preface that. Like, everything that you think about, that you think that you like to eat, you don't. There's literally hormones that send signals to your brain to make you think that that stuff is good, and it's not. Cheese? You mean pus? Actually, it's pus. It's not cheese. But these, like I said, anyways, moving forward before I get on another tangent. But what I'm saying is that I saw a significant change. I also suffer from basically my mom tells me not to say this or put this on myself, but it's true, because Black women, we tend not to tell people like what we're suffering from. But I have fertility issues. Like, it'll be difficult for me to get pregnant. And I think a part of the reason why I'm in higher ed is because I get to work with students all the time, and those are like my children. So I'm not losing out on the idea of like, okay, if I don't have kids, I still have like 150 kids that I see every single day. But I have been told that it's going to be a uphill battle for me to get pregnant. So if I know that, I don't have no man. Like, anybody want to holler at me? Slide in my DMs. You know, I'm out here.
Instagram on here.
Right, I'm out here. Anyways, I'm educated. What's up? About to go get my doctorate degree. Like, what's good? Anyways, but I'm suffering with those things, and so if I'm suffering with it, I want to start preparing my body for the event that when the opportunity for me to even think about having children comes about, my body has healed itself from all the toxins and all the chemicals that we eat and the environment that we live in. We live in a very toxic environment, and I live in the most toxic state ever. I live in New York.
Here we are. And
we got smog, we got cars, we got food. You know, I'm still worried about the people who will be eating out the halal truck in New York City.
Halal last week. Oh, wow.
We're not going to get on that.
Okay, that's right. Day. That's a side conversation, because I'm sure you're going to read me all about halal now.
Like, what? I mean, I used to bang down some halal food, but whatever. But yeah, like I said, like, you want to heal your body. As a Black woman, I am more likely to die in a hospital having children.
Yes, I've learned that.
And that's part of the reason why I plan to not even, if I do have kids, I will not be having children at hospitals. I'll be having myself a home birth with a midwife and a doula. That's just because that's just me. Just being mindful of those things. Like, being plant-based will change your perspective on just life in general, how you look at life, how you look at your friends, how you look at your food, the TV. And like, also, veganism is not just in diet, everyone.
And that's funny you say that, because I was going to say that, do you think that if somebody only is doing it with food and not their products, that in your opinion, can they consider themselves vegan? Because at this day and age, anybody can pick to identify however you want. You can
identify however you so choose to identify. What I don't ever want to identify myself with, and whoever like gets in these comments and be like, girl, that's rude. I have a problem with Sebi vegans. So these are vegans who are alkaline. You do what you want to do, boo-boo, right? You eat how you want to eat. If you want to eat none of the foods that, like the Sebi vegan, like if you're a Sebi vegan, there's a laundry list of things you cannot. As a vegan, I already can't eat a lot. But as a Sebi vegan, there is a laundry list of things that they cannot eat. Like, there's like, you can't eat rice, you can't eat beans, you can't eat this. It's just a laundry list of things, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody can choose to identify however they want to identify. But my thought process is this. I'm cool with you saying that you're plant-based for diet and your health. Great. But don't forget that you need to be mindful of the products that you're using as well. Yes. You can't be calling yourself vegan and being like using something that is testing on animals, because typically when you say you're not eating animal products, but you're willing to put animal products on your skin that will get into your bloodstream. So either way it goes, it's getting into your body. So being mindful of that. So every time I look for stuff, every time I look for a product, and I know we'll talk about this later too, but like my products, I have to be mindful of that. Just because it says that it's cruelty-free and vegan on the packaging, what is going on with that parent company? Because not every small company has their, like, I wish I had a bottle in front of me, but Let's talk about raw sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody in Target uses raw sugar because it's cruelty free and it's vegan.
Mm-hmm.
But the company, their parent company, I can't remember their parent company's name, but they test on animals. People don't know that, but you need to do all your research on that. People that beauty love, we were talking about this last night, Amber, but it was beauty, love, or whatever, or earth, or whatever. It comes in this pretty, beautiful packaging. It's really nice. And it smells really great because it has lots of fragrance in it. One, it's toxic. It's toxic. Two, Unilever, or I think that's how you say it, Unilever, owns that company.
Mm-hmm.
Unilever, yeah, they test on animals big time because they sell to China. So here's the rule of thumb: if they sell in China, you don't need to use it. That's just period, point blank. I don't care if it's vegan or not. If they test in China, if they sell to China, mm-hmm. it needs to be not in your bathroom. All those people who be shopping at Grove Collaborative, Thrive Market, buying Miss Myers.
Okay, you were pulling out all the brands and receipts. Like, don't go to this one, don't go to that.
Oh yeah, Miss Myers.
You're really
don't use that stuff. It is toxic. They are in a current lawsuit right now. Just want to let everyone know because of somebody had gotten sick, or like they were seeing adverse effects from using their products continuously. And it looks real cute, it's all pretty, and they tell you it's not toxic, but it is. Y'all can clean your house with vinegar, water, and lemon peels, and I'm telling you, it will clean your house better than bleach will. But that's just...
So let's shift gears to how do you find and research these companies to make sure that they are not animals or testing or having toxic products outside of like that one brand. Like, so finding out that their housing company or parent company.
Right. So yeah, the way I do it is I typically like to, what's the word I'm looking for? I like to use like small brands. So here's the thing: when you have a small house brand like that will be sold on like Etsy, or things that will be sold on like just like they have their own like small, like, I don't know, like what's those things, that one website we were talking about last night? Oh my gosh, it's leaving me. Squarespace, like if they have their own like website that's like a Squarespace that a big huge company is not like dealing with, they're not dealing with a huge company, then typically you can pretty much say that those things are vegan and cruelty free and toxic free because they cannot afford the toxic chemicals usually to put in those things.
And so with the toxic chemicals, again, in your opinion, be that it's like they're using that because it's easier to mass produce than if they were using like...
Yeah, because it makes it stretch. You think about all those preservatives keep things on the shelf like even your vitamins, people, like...
Yeah, God.
Your vitamins, typical white vitamins, can stay on the shelf for years, and people that still use that. That is something. Why would you want to use that?
Yeah, and I thought of that a lot because I did Whole30 once, and I want to do it again like once I move.
And you were doing really well on Whole30.
Yeah, I did, and like I was working out like in between too, but I lost like a decent amount of weight, and I just didn't like keep going with it. And like sometimes I would go back, but even just doing Whole30, I learned like, in reality, if something can stay on the shelf for forever, why would you want to eat that? Like, you should just want to eat whole things. And like some frozen stuff and canned stuff is still good too. So you don't have to like literally just eat fresh fruits and vegetables. You can eat canned, you can eat frozen stuff. You just have to check the labels and make sure it literally just says potatoes or it just says strawberries. Like,
and not like it can't have like
all those things you don't understand like shouldn't be in your
food. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
And a lot of things, one thing that I don't agree with necessarily for Whole30 is that they say that they don't want you to like recreate stuff like pizza. You can make pizza with tons of Whole30 approved.
Yeah, you can eat it with a whole bunch of vegetables.
But the thing is, they try to say that don't do that because you're trying to have your mind not want like the junk food or like French fries and pizza and cakes and stuff. But you can make all that with approved ingredients. And so I did very well. I only like cheated because I had fries one day, but like again, like it was potatoes in the oil that I'm allowed to have. So that's the only thing that I like don't agree with, but I do want to try it. And even when I do shop, like I try not to buy snack stuff, but like
you don't, because I've been to your house and you don't never have no snacks. I be like, you don't got nothing to munch on.
No, because if I get snacks, I eat it all. Like just now, I got these chips. I'm eating them all. Cheese.
No, you was busting down them chips. I'm not gonna hold you.
So that's why I don't buy them, because then
I like chips too. I love kettle chips. They're my favorite, especially with a little bit of hot sauce.
Yeah.
Country. But I absolutely do like a snack. I think, honestly, listen, let's so as you all know, Amber and I have two different diets.
Yep.
But I'm like, here's my thought process, and this is like me and Amber talk about this all the time. Like, I'm not a pushy vegan.
Yeah, you're not. You actually are, because
like I will go out with you to a regular restaurant and eat something there. I will make a meal out of it. We went to this restaurant in the city in Manhattan, like next to wherever we were going to our concert. The last time we were able to go out.
That was literally the last time. R.I.P. Millennials.
I got me a good old burger, aka I got an Impossible Burger, but that would be a whole other conversation about Impossible Burgers. We'd be all day with that. But beside the point, I like to go out with my friends. I never want my friends to feel like, oh, we can't go there because Tamara don't eat this, that, and the third. My suggestion is to always read the menus prior to going anywhere so that you can create your own meal. And typically restaurants don't care about you making your own meal. Like, they're like, okay, whatever. As long as they don't get your money, like,
yeah,
you can go out and be vegan and have fun.
I feel like too, on the other side of that though, like when you know a friend is vegan, like you should try to be accommodating though, because you were really like, oh, I'll just eat fries, and I was like, no, like
I know you were like, no, you gotta get something to eat. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal to me, because like at the end of the day, restaurants are getting better with having more vegetables on there. Remember at one point there was no such thing as going out to a restaurant and having vegetables.
Yeah.
I like a salad. I love a salad. Like,
that's true too. I guess I typically don't like buying salads, because even when I did Whole30, like obviously I had to look at all the menus, and there's a little bit more options because you can eat meat on Whole30. You can obviously be vegan or vegetarian and do it too, but you can eat meat. So like that gave me more options. But at restaurants, it was what else did they put in their meat? So like some restaurants make steaks, but they put milk in it. Or like when they make eggs, they're putting milk because they're trying to like make it stretch out more than just typical eggs. So stuff like that you have to look for in restaurants when you're doing.
Yeah, like I don't understand why they do that. And like I don't know, I want to show some. I actually have it in front of me. So
that's your wine.
This is wine.
Oh, cute. We love that.
And this is from Wink. I don't know if anybody likes wine. I would highly suggest this thing called Wink. They sell different they sell wines that you can buy. You get 4 a month. It's like a subscription. You get 4 a month. Try. Really like it. Highly suggest it. I will actually leave a link. I can leave a link.
I know. I wrote
$20 off. I'll do that.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm vegan, and Amber, I'm glad that you talked about like how you had to be mindful of what's in your food when you go out. Okay. I have to be mindful about alcohol when I go out. So there's all types of alcohol is not created equal. There is vegan wine. There's vegan, like when you typically drink, when I go out now to get alcoholic beverages, I'm pretty much drinking tequila. I am not drinking any I think vodka is also vegan.
So what is in alcohol that you can't have?
So certain companies, like I told you, they really like to cut corners when it comes to filtration or preservatives to keep things whole. So with wine, people don't know this, but a lot of time wine comes with casein in it, aka milk, aka cancer.
Yes, you told me that.
And it is used to preserve your wine. So that's why you can keep wine on the shelf for a very long time, because they use it as a preservative. Sometimes they put milk in it. Sometimes they put egg in it. Like, you never know what's in your things. But thankfully, I had Wink because they were able to give me a wine that was vegan. So there's no animal products in my wine. So I had to give up one of my favorite wines of all time, which is 19 Crimes. If anybody has never had that wine, that's the best wine on the planet. I just can't drink it anymore because it has casein in it.
So how did you find out that was in wine too? Because like on a wine bottle, it's not really telling you.
It's random how I found it. So everybody who all the black people drinking Stella Rosa,
yeah,
whatever.
I have the. Maybe I drank it, but I had that.
So y'all don't know that, but that's vegan wine. So that wine is vegan.
I'm one step closer to vegan.
Yes, I returned them. I don't know. I turned the bottle over one time just to read it or whatever. I was like, oh wow, this wine is vegan. And then I started to do research, and I was like, oh,
that's good. I'm excited.
Oh, so wine isn't all wine is not vegan?
Mm-hmm. So they specifically on their thing said this is vegan,
right?
Okay, and then you notice
on the Stella Rosa bottle, it literally has a small little emblem that says vegan on it. Especially on the. I like Stella Rosa Black.
Yes, I just tried that one. That one's good.
That's my favorite. But they have all types of flavors, and they're great. They're delicious. They're cheap because we're all on a budget. We work in higher ed, so you know we broke. But once I turn this thing, you have to read the labels, people. I don't care if you're vegan or non-vegan, whatever the heck you choose to do. Read the labels. If they're putting things in your food to make you fat and make you sick, because the government cannot profit off of you being healthy. And for minority people, we typically live in places that have food deserts. So we typically can only go to the convenience store, the corner store. And granted, let me tell y'all something. I love me a good chopped cheese. I love the corner store chopped cheese. Okay, it was fire. But it was killing me. And those things you find in those types of environments. And if you have to pay an extra $5-10 to have good food, then do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go broke, but I'm saying be mindful of the things that you put in your body, because we are currently in a racial health war on the minority people. And don't get me started on them people, on my sisters and brothers that are at the border right now dying of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all one people. Well, I say that to say, let me be mindful before somebody try to cancel me. But I want to say this, that I believe in God, and God, we are all God's people. And I'm going to make sure that I fight for my people. And while we are fighting a race war right now and a health war on us, I'm going to fight for my people that are at the border too, because those are my sisters and brothers as well. They fought for us. We're going to fight for them. So this racial war, not to get on the political standpoint, but we coming for ICE next. Okay? We coming for you.
Oh.
Okay? Because you got my peoples in cages like we animals.
You have said so many things that could go on a tangent of your topic.
But I'm just saying, just be mindful. But that's pretty much how I ended up, figuring out what products to use and just being mindful of that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. And so on the last two things, because I feel like you touched on one of the other questions both of the other questions I was going to ask. So what are your go-to meals that you like to have?
Okay. I don't know what happened when I became vegan, but somehow with mixture of being vegan and quarantine, I figured out how to cook. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, when I was non-vegan, I had 2 meals I was good at. Literally 2 meals. I could make bussin' nachos, and I could make some fire chicken. Okay?
Okay.
Fire. And I don't eat that anymore. So now what do I eat? My favorite go-to meal before, when I first started going vegan, my favorite thing was chickpea tikka marsala. First of all, I love Indian food. That food is so good.
Indian food is good. I do love that.
And typically, they cook with a lot of, they do use meat or whatever, but typically, the sauces that they make are all tomato and coconut milk based. Yeah. So, if you can't have chicken, just ask, can you make some chickpeas for me and some jasmine rice, and boom.
Food is very inclusive of vegetarian because some people don't eat meat.
Right.
And also, what was the other cuisine I was thinking about? I can't remember, but another one that they have a lot of flavorful food because they don't typically eat.
Yeah, even Chinese food, Thai food, those type of things, or in Indian food, It really is very inclusive of our like a vegan and vegetarian diets. I find that American diet isn't really necessarily very forgiving for that, but whatever, we can move on from that. But my favorite meal when I first, that was definitely chickpea tikka marsala. I love it. I still make it. It's delicious. If I want to be lazy, you can find the sauce, the simmer sauce already created for you. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can make it. There's a whole bunch of recipes online. My second go-to would definitely be lentil stew.
Okay.
Y'all, when I found the power of lentils,
I don't think I've ever had lentils.
it changed my life for the better. Because you could literally manipulate that thing to make it to be anything you could think of in your head. Like anything. Meat, vegan meat, y'all. Before people like, what? No, vegan meat. And so lentil stew, I used to make it in all types of ways. I used to make it like with the cream. I used to make it creamy. I would kind of make it kind of chunky with a little bit of potatoes and vegetables. And love to make that. But right now, my favorite meal to make is mushrooms and grits.
Yes, you told us that last night too.
Yes, I used to obsess over shrimp and grits when we used to go to brunch. It was my favorite thing, other than, chicken and waffles, whatever. And I was like, oh man, like,
what am I gonna do?
Yeah. So I went to a place right before quarantine for my birthday because, March 11th, they decided that this was a pandemic on my birthday. But anyways,
January, but that's another story.
We're not gonna talk about how. Anyways, but I went to this place called Modern Love in Brooklyn. It's in Williamsburg. We'll link that in the bottom below. If you are in the New York area, I highly suggest you go there, whether you are vegan or not. I mean, there was non-vegan people up in there talking about this is fire. Anyways, yeah. So I went there and I had their fried mushrooms and black-eyed peas and grits, and I was like,
good. Some things I feel like you wouldn't think to put together, but they actually work.
Right. I was like, huh?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was like, this sounds lit. And I actually think I'm gonna probably make that for lunch today. We're gonna go from there.
Okay, good.
But I wanted to recreate that. So I did. I bought all the stuff. I fried my mushrooms and I made mushrooms and grits. And y'all, I literally eat that breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I could. If it wasn't gonna make me big with some toast.
Oh, yum.
My favorite snack of mine is definitely peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say
mindful of the jelly, y'all. There is vegan jelly for you to get. Smucker's actually makes, it's like, I need to make a video on YouTube one day of like things that are like mistakenly vegan, but Smucker's makes their jelly that doesn't have gelatin in it, which is made from bone marrow from animals or whatever. They put some sort of like fruit thickener in it, so it's like comes from fruit, so it's derived from fruit, so it's natural. But I use that. I love a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Honestly, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like I said, it doesn't have to be difficult. Like
good.
I've made like Amber saw me one time make like vegan meat out of like mushrooms. Best stuff ever. You would have never known it wasn't meat.
And I feel like you have to like mushrooms though, because like I personally don't because of the texture. It kind of depends on how they're made. So it's like for mushrooms, you have to like them and like the texture.
Yeah, I really didn't like mushrooms at one point, but I think once I had to start eating vegetables, I had to learn how to prepare them.
No, exactly.
I wanted to fry them, I could.
That makes sense.
There's just so many things that you can really do with your food, and I'm thankful for that. And then there's just some days where I don't even want to cook, and I'll be kind of like raw and just eat fruit and vegetables all day because.
And that's what I learned from like Whole32 is that like eating like, I mean, granted you can't eat eggs, but like making like boiled eggs and eating fruit can be breakfast, or like eating boiled eggs and like hummus or whatever can be a meal. I think we just think meals have to be like some grand
gesture. Like it doesn't. I get it. Like, my mom was like, this is gonna be your first year on Thanksgiving without eating meat. That's great. I'm fine with that.
Thanksgiving is a sides holiday anyway, so.
Do you know how many calories are in a Thanksgiving meal?
Too many. Don't ruin it for us.
I remember back when I was in high school, Miss Thompson from my aerobics class. There's 25.
No, I said don't ruin it for us. This is not good. I be getting like 3 points. No.
Sorry. 25,000 calories.
No, you saw me just open my ears and you said it again.
I'm sorry, I had to.
This is foolish.
Y'all gonna bust that food down. That's okay.
Come November, if we're back outside, I would eat twice as much. I miss all these things.
I think, yes, facts. I think that I definitely will. My mom is planning to make me some macaroni and cheese that doesn't have any dairy or anything like that in it. She's gonna make me some collard greens that don't have any meat in it. Thank God for Samantha. Love her.
Oh, good. Samantha.
She said we're gonna make some pie, some vegan sweet potato pie, which I typically don't use a lot of. Yeah. So we're gonna do that. I mean, I'm gonna do it this year. We're gonna see how it works out.
Okay. Well, we'll come back in November. You let us know.
Yeah, we will definitely. We'll let you know how it goes. But I'm not buying that fake tofurkey that comes in.
Oh yeah, that sounds gross.
That's not looking good.
And then just our last question here is, what are your top 3 beauty products that you'd recommend?
Ooh, okay. So, Amber, I sent her a link to this company that I was obsessed with. However, I had to stop using their products sadly, because they use honey.
Yes.
Their products, and we're saving the bees, huh?
Which one was it when you were like, no, the orangutans?
Okay. Y'all, listen, I have a big thing with palm oil. I don't care if nobody says, I don't care if they say it's, sustainable palm oil. I don't care if they said that they picked it and then they did fixed it themselves to put in the item in the product. I don't care what they said. Palm oil is terrible for our environment. It's
orangutan
forest, and it's especially awful for the orangutans.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
It kills them. People understand. Y'all realize how they have to process. I can't even go into I don't even want to. We'd be here all day if I told you how they process palm oil. So everybody likes to use that good old, what's this, Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah, that's what you ruined. Because I was like, how do you feel about this? You were like, oh, girl, that's bad for the orangutans. I was like,
that's bad for the orangutans. You gotta know. And they have this statement on their website about how their palm oil is sustainable. I don't care. I don't care. If it's in your product, it's bad for the environment. Period.
Oh, God. Okay.
Period. But anyways, moving forward.
Yes, back to your favorite 3 things.
So my favorite 3 things has to be my essential oils.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where do you get those from? Because what I've also learned is that even though things say essential oils, it might not be.
Y'all, listen, stop buying y'all's essential oils from Marshalls. In that little section.
You're ruining so many people's lives.
Buying that stuff is not real. They have all types of chemicals in there. Don't y'all be inhaling that? If your oil doesn't cost $30, it's not a real oil, honey.
And that's the thing about it too. Being healthy costs so much more, but like you said, the economy doesn't thrive off of us being healthy. It wants us to not be. So that's why I'm having such a hard time trying to buy a new lotion, because I want to get a body butter or something that is sustainable for the earth, all that. But it's hard to find them because they're not in the stores. You have to order everything online.
Yeah, you have to try everything.
I don't like wasting money. I don't like all this researching. So literally I send everything to Tamara. I'm like, hey, can I order this?
Right. It's all a toss-up. And you don't have listen, I always say you do what's best for you. If that works for you, then great. But some of this stuff don't work for me no more.
Yeah.
So when I want to have my room to smell, that I use essential oils. My favorite. Whoever in here is oh, I use Young Living, who cares? As long as you're buying something that does not put toxins in your air, fine. Because doTERRA and Young Living have this feud against each other. Who cares? I use doTERRA. I love doTERRA. They always have a sale, and the oils that I use, one oil that I'm trying to get, I was I'm probably gonna ask it for Christmas, but it's $200 because it's real oil, y'all. It's real oils. It's not fake. It doesn't have preservatives in it. When you put preservatives in it, that makes it cheap, and then it makes you sick. So that's one of my favorite products to use for sure. Definitely love doTERRA. My other favorite product thus far, I would have to say, is my multivitamin that I use from Mega Foods. I like their stuff because a lot of their products are all vegan or vegetarian, but most of them are vegan. So I do like to use their stuff. And we will link their website below. And as far as my soap is concerned, there's a brand called Beauty Culture. They are vegan, they are toxic free, they are sustainable, so they don't have palm oil. So the orangutans, we're saving the orangutan. Like, I will say this: that the soap is expensive. It's well over $30. Okay,
$30 for some soap?
Yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. You know,
I like, geez, did we?
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I told Amber, I think I have a website that you can use. I mean, I think I sent it to you. The Black Girls Love. They're actually based in Brooklyn. They sell a lot of like body butters and stuff like that. And I know that sometimes people don't like to be sticky. It's the summertime. They sell things like mango butter. Mango butter tends to be a little bit lighter on the skin. So we will link that below as well. I like to use their products. Maybe one day we'll get together again, Amber, and we can talk about just kind of like beauty products in general. Because I could go all day about makeup, y'all. I won't hurt y'all feelings.
Yeah. Oh wow. You know, we really should do a makeup one because I mean I don't wear that stuff. At all, so I know nothing about that. I don't even know how to put it on.
No, and people will be like, oh well, they don't make vegan stuff for Black women. They actually do. Mented Cosmetics is vegan, cruelty free, and toxic free.
Wow. Let's write this down too on my little list. Perfect.
So, yeah, I mean, we could go all day. I could really sit here all day, but you know, we'd be here all day. But you know, I just want to say, you all, like, I am currently working on my new venture because, you know, Amber has really inspired me to really get into this blogging thing and talk about just mental health and my veganism and my toxic-free living and my sustainable living because I'm working on living zero waste as well. But that's a whole other conversation. But there's so much, and I am really excited about it because I feel like I'm doing my part, and like I want Black people to start thinking like
bigger than what we're thinking.
It's not just a white people thing. Like we are a part of the reason why our environment is trash as well. So let's do better. And we can definitely do this again. And you know, I will, if you guys comment below, I will answer questions. I will send links because
all that.
I like for you to learn for yourself. I don't want to just tell you all the information. You can go and look for yourself. What works for you, works for you. And you guys be healthy and happy.
Yes. Lovely. Thank you so much. I still don't think I would be vegan, but like I have become more consciously aware of the things.
She has. Y'all, she asks me questions all the time. I'm proud of her.
I don't know about
be buying this stuff too.
Yeah. I don't know about like completely transitioning to vegan for my food, but like again, we're gonna see what's going on.
We're gonna see how this life goes.
Yeah, but thank you. This was lovely. I'm sure everybody's going to be cracking up laughing because you and these orangutans. It's just funny.
No, I'm serious. Orangutans, like they are serious. Like they want to live.
I know.
Stop buying straws too, y'all. Go get y'all reusable.
Yeah, the straws thing. I feel like that has been a long time.
They end up in turtles' nose. They end up in the turtles' noses. Like,
I know. And also, I
mentioned y'all
in the beginning. This is not Starbucks drink. I'm no longer supporting Starbucks.
They are canceled
a while ago, and I like the cup, but can't go there.
I have one too. This is their tumbler. I will not purchase another one from them. They'll be all set.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will put all of Tamara's information at the bottom so you can contact her on Instagram. And like she said, look out for the stuff that she wants to do with her little blogging. And we'll put our shirts because mine also is a nice shirt.
Yes, we'll put our shirts. Also, I'll put some Tabitha Brown ones because I know everybody's obsessed with Tabitha. So.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you subscribe, follow us, all that good stuff.